Broken promises. Emily Carter had always believed in love. She was the kind of woman who gave everything: her heart, her loyalty, her soul. And perhaps that was why the betrayal cut so deep. Her fiancé, Michael Reynolds, the man she thought she had known since college, turned out to be someone else entirely. One late evening, she came home earlier than usual and found him with another woman. The sound of laughter froze in her ears, the sight seared into her memory. Her chest tightened as if the world itself had collapsed. "Emily, this is a mistake. It doesn't mean anything," Michael stammered, scrambling for excuses. But for her, it meant everything. She stood in silence, tears streaming down her face, realizing that the man she had trusted with her future had shattered it in a single night. The escape. Emily couldn't stay in that city any longer. Every street corner, every familiar cafe, every shared memory became a knife twisting in her chest. She left her job, her friends, her entire life behind. One morning, with trembling hands, she booked a one-way ticket to New York City, a place where no one knew her name, where she could disappear into the rhythm of strangers. The noise of the metropolis swallowed her grief. The flashing lights drowned out her sorrow. Yet even in the endless crowds, Emily felt the hollow ache of betrayal. Nights were the hardest. Lying awake in her small apartment, she would hear the echo of his voice, the broken promises, the lies disguised as love. And yet, beneath all the pain, a fragile truth began to grow. She had survived. Michael had destroyed her illusions, but he had also freed her. The encounter. It happened on a rainy afternoon in Brooklyn. Emily was sitting in a quiet coffee shop, trying to lose herself in a book, when the door swung open and a man walked in, shaking the water from his coat. He had a camera slung over his shoulder and a presence that filled the room without effort. He ordered his coffee, and as he turned, their eyes met. For a brief second, it felt like time itself hesitated. Later, when Emily accidentally dropped her book, he was the one who picked it up. "You lost something important," he said, handing it back with a smile. She looked into his eyes, kind, steady, unlike anything she had known before, and whispered, almost to herself, "You have no idea how important." His name was Daniel Brooks, a photographer who saw the world not for what it pretended to be, but for what it truly was. A love she had never known. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. With Daniel, Emily discovered a kind of love she had never believed possible. It wasn't loud or desperate. It didn't demand sacrifices or hide behind excuses. It was quiet mornings spent laughing over burnt pancakes, long walks through the city where words weren't necessary, late nights where silence felt like the most intimate language. Daniel didn't just love her. He saw her. The scars, the fears, the broken pieces left behind by Michael. And instead of running from them, he held them gently, as though they were treasures. For the first time, Emily felt safe. The return of the past. One evening, more than a year later, Michael found her. He showed up at her doorstep, older, worn, eyes filled with regret. "I made a mistake," he pleaded. "I've lost everything, Emily. Please, give me another chance." For a moment, she looked at him, the man who had once been her whole world. But now, standing beside Daniel, she felt nothing but clarity. "You already had your chance," she said softly. "And you taught me the most important lesson of my life, what love is not." She closed the door, and with it, the chapter of her past. The true beginning. That night, Daniel took her hand and led her to the riverside, where the lights of the city danced on the water. With trembling hands, he reached into his pocket and pulled out a small box. "Emily," he said, his voice unsteady but filled with conviction. "You are my beginning and my end, my greatest inspiration, my truth. Will you share forever with me?" Tears filled her eyes, not of sorrow, but of a joy so profound it seemed to wash away every shadow of her past. "Yes," she whispered, her voice breaking. 1,000 times yes. As he slid the ring onto her finger, Emily knew with absolute certainty betrayal had once broken her. But love, true love, had rebuilt her stronger than ever, and this time it was forever.